Welcome back to G News Daily, your go-to source for the biggest updates from the USA and across the globe. Today, we are counting down the top 10 most impactful news stories you need to know right now. Before we jump in, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss a world update. Let's get started with number 10. Today, first news, US recognizes entire Jammu and Kashmir as Indian territory in new map. In a significant diplomatic shift, the United States has released an official map showing the entire region of Jammu and Kashmir, including Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Aksai Chin, as part of India. This development occurred during the announcement of a new interim trade agreement framework on Saturday. By clearly demarcating these territories within India's borders, Washington has delivered a major blow to Islamabad's long-standing territorial claims. This move is seen as a major embarrassment for Pakistan, especially following recent high-profile visits by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Asim Munir to lobby in Washington. Despite Pakistan's efforts to align with US strategic interests, the superpower's latest map reinforces India's sovereign stance and sends a same-to-same message to the international community regarding regional boundaries. Next news, Middle powers unite to navigate rising tensions between global superpowers. In an increasingly polarized global landscape, the world's middle powers are forging new alliances to avoid being overshadowed by the intense rivalry between the United States and China. Leaders from nations including Canada, Germany, Japan, and India are prioritizing mutual cooperation in trade, technology, and defense to secure their own strategic autonomy. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney emphasized this shift at the World Economic Forum, noting that middle powers must act collectively to ensure they maintain a seat at the international table. Efforts to reduce dependence on the two superpowers are manifesting through increased military spending and diversified trade deals. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and other European leaders are deepening security ties with Asian partners while exploring homegrown defense alternatives. Despite these steps, challenges remain as these diverse nations balance competing interests and long-standing reliance on US security frameworks. This evolving octopus of ties signals a move toward a more fragmented yet collaborative same-to-same global order where regional players exert greater influence. Next news, U.S.-Iran nuclear talks in Oman end with new sanctions and strained trust. Indirect nuclear negotiations between Iran and the United States concluded in Muscat, Oman on Friday, yielding a good start but no formal agreement. Led by Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, the discussions focused on reviving the 2015 JCPOA framework. While Iran expressed a willingness to return to compliance if sanctions are lifted, the U.S. maintained a firm stance, demanding that Tehran lower its uranium enrichment from 60% before any relief is granted. Moments after the sessions ended, the Trump administration intensified its maximum pressure campaign by imposing fresh sanctions on 15 entities and 14 vessels linked to Iran's shadow fleet. This same-to-same pattern of combining diplomacy with economic penalties highlights the deep-seated lack of trust between the two nations. Despite the new restrictions, both sides have agreed to a potential follow-up meeting in late February to continue seeking a diplomatic path forward. Next news, Indian Air Marshal strengthens defense ties at Singapore Airshow 2026. Air Marshal Balakrishnan Manikantan, AOC&C of Central Air Command, held high-level discussions with Singapore's top military officials on Saturday during the Singapore Airshow 26. Meeting at the Changi Exhibition Centre, Manikantan engaged with Brigadier General Ho Kum Luen and Brigadier General Chan Ching Hao to bolster bilateral security. The visit follows a 2025 joint statement pledging deeper cooperation in emerging technologies like AI and quantum computing. Beyond official talks, the Air Marshal met with India's High Commissioner and the Sarang helicopter display team, who are showcasing precision maneuvers at the event. He also performed a same-to-same act of traditional military honor by laying a wreath at the Kranji War Memorial for fallen soldiers. The airshow continues through February 8th, featuring advanced military displays and aerial stunts aimed at fostering regional defense partnerships. Next news, Russian air assault cripples Ukrainian power grid amid fragile peace talks. A massive Russian air assault targeted Ukraine's energy infrastructure early Saturday, triggering widespread blackouts and leaving hundreds of thousands without heating in sub-zero temperatures. The state grid operator Ukrenergo confirmed that the massive attack utilized over 400 drones and 40 missiles to strike critical high-voltage substations and transmission lines. Prime Minister Denis Sh. Mihal announced that Kyiv has requested emergency power assistance from Poland, following significant damage to the Bushtinska and Dobrodvirska power plants in western Ukraine. The escalation comes just days after US brokered peace talks in Abu Dhabi, where both nations agreed to a major prisoner swap but failed to reach a territorial breakthrough. Tensions have further intensified following a Friday assassination attempt in Moscow on Lieutenant General Vladimir Alexeyev, a top Russian military intelligence official. While the Kremlin blames Kyiv for the shooting, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky noted that Russia continues to choose same-to-same military strikes over real diplomacy, using the winter cold as a strategic weapon. Next news, allegations of Jeffrey Epstein's secret child surface in massive DOJ file release. The U.S. Department of Justice has released a staggering trove of over 3 million documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, reigniting rumors of a secret child fathered by the late financier. Buried within the files is a harrowing diary entry from a former teenage victim who claims she gave birth to a baby girl in 2002 at the age of 16. The entry alleges that Ghislaine Maxwell supervised the birth and that the infant was removed from the mother's care just 10 minutes after she was born. According to the records, Epstein allegedly pressured the young woman with rhetoric about genetics and maintaining a superior gene pool, a claim consistent with his known obsession with eugenics. These details surfaced as part of the Epstein Files Transparency Act signed by President Trump, which has led to the unsealing of millions of pages, images, and videos. While the diary provides a vivid account of the alleged birth, including a 20-week pregnancy scan, officials note that the existence of the child remains same-to-same in terms of verification status, unconfirmed and missing from Epstein's final will. Next news, India and Greece strengthen strategic ties following landmark EU trade deal. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held a high-profile meeting with Greek National Defense Minister Nikos Dendias in New Delhi on Friday, marking a pivotal moment in the deepening strategic partnership between the two nations. The discussions focused on a sem-to-sem exchange of views regarding regional security challenges and international developments. Minister Dendias, visiting at the invitation of Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, expressed his gratitude for the invitation, highlighting the cordial nature of the talks held at the EAM's residence. The visit coincides with a significant surge in momentum for India's global diplomacy, occurring just weeks after the signing of the landmark India-EU Free Trade Agreement on January 27. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently praised this future-ready deal, alongside a fresh trade framework with the United States, as signs of India's growing role as a trusted global partner. Minister Dendias is now scheduled to travel to Bengaluru to explore synergies between the Greek and Indian defense ecosystems, further solidifying the military cooperation program established earlier this year. Next news, Italy kicks off 2026 Winter Olympics with spectacular dual ceremony. The Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics officially began on Friday with a vibrant opening ceremony titled Armonia, celebrating Italy's rich tapestry of art, fashion, and history. In a historic first, the event unfolded simultaneously across multiple locations, with the main festivities at Milan's San Siro Stadium and parallel celebrations in the mountain co-host, Cortina d'Ampezzo. Italian President Sergio Mattarella declared the games open, while pop icon Mariah Carey set a high-energy same-to-same tone for the festivities by performing the Italian classic Volare. Despite the focus on unity, the night was marked by palpable political tension. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance faced significant booing from the Milan crowd when he appeared on the Jumbotron, reflecting local friction over the presence of U.S. security personnel in the city. While the Israeli delegation received a mixed reception, the Ukrainian team was met with thunderous applause and standing ovations. The evening concluded with the unique lighting of two Olympic cauldrons, one in Milan by skiing legends Alberto Tomba and Deborah Compagnoni, and another in Cortina by gold medalist Sofia Goggia, symbolizing the armonia between Italy's urban and alpine spirits. Next news, massive Russian strike targets Ukraine's energy grid. Russia launched a massive coordinated assault on Saturday, deploying over 400 drones and approximately 40 missiles specifically aimed at crippling Ukraine's energy infrastructure. President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed that the strikes targeted the national power grid, generation facilities, and distribution substations across the country. The Ukrainian leader condemned the escalation on social media, stating that Moscow continues to choose strikes over real diplomacy. Zelensky urged international supporters of trilateral negotiations to respond firmly to the aggression. He emphasized that the global community must act to ensure Moscow is deprived of the ability to use the harsh winter cold as a strategic lever against the Ukrainian people. Next news, Meloni reaffirms U.S. ties amid controversy over security presence. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni met with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance in Milan this Friday to reinforce the enduring partnership between the two nations. The high-level meeting, which included Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani, took place just hours before the Winter Olympics opening ceremony. Meloni described the encounter as a vital opportunity to discuss bilateral relations, stressing that Italy and the United States continue to maintain significant ties and are committed to strengthening cooperation on global issues. Vice President Vance echoed these sentiments, highlighting the deep economic connections and shared values between the two allies. Despite the diplomatic warmth, the meeting occurred against a backdrop of public backlash regarding the presence of U.S. security analysts linked to immigration and customs enforcement. Meloni dismissed the public outcry as surreal, clarifying that these officials have no police authority on Italian soil and are part of a long-standing investigative collaboration that poses no threat to national sovereignty.